What's happening, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I'm getting closer on the car completion. So to give you guys an update, I went to go for a drive and I heard a grinding noise in the right front. So I pulled back in the shop and had a look, and the wheels just flopping around. So I pulled it apart and the front bearing was just shot. And don't know why. The car's been sitting for years and years, but it's shot. So I'm in the midst of replacing that. I need a press and I don't have one. And that's a problem. So I'm gonna have to locate a press, or somebody's got one, and press out the bearing. But I'll give you a quick peek at the problem here. So the front knuckle bearing, obviously, it seems like it's seized, right in this area, you know. Anyways, so the front knuckle is jacked up and I've got it unjacked. So I started working on other things. So I've been color sanding and buffing, taking my time at it. It's a lot of work to do it right, and in the heat it makes it for even a harder job. But what I've been using is the 3M system, and you got this discs called the Trizac disc. They feel like material, but you hit it with 1500 and then you'll hit it with 3000, which this feels like a sponge almost. The discs aren't cheap, but it'll take like 5, maybe 6, if you're new at it, probably 6 discs of each to do the car. And it makes it easy. I mean, your paint skills don't have to be exactly perfect, but the 1500 will cut a lot of all the dirt and stuff. Not all, but a lot of the dirt it'll cut. And of course it takes the sheen right off, you know. It'll be immediately, it'll be dull. And then the 3000, it'll make it just completely dull, you know, but even, and almost like a satin finish, you know, like lacquer, like cabinets. Anyways, they make a 6000, and you could do you could sand it with the 6000 after that, and it would literally take nothing to polish it. But I can't seem to find the 6000 anywhere. Excuse me. It's still, the temperatures are in the 110, 105. I mean, it's stupid hot in Arizona, but we're managing. So we're getting by it, or getting through it one day at a time, and I'm running out of days. So let's continue. Color sand and buff, a lot of time, a lot of hours, and I'm finding a lot of flaws and wanting to fix it and all that kind of thing. But I'll just give you a walk around on it so we can have a look together. Overall, I'm happy with the way it's turning out. You know, I've slowed way down in all the progress. Let's see. You know, I changed the seals, you know, things like that. I changed that whole rain tray, filter, carbon filter. On the map sensor, I had the part, but I don't have any skills at welding aluminum. I've got a welder, a little TIG welder, but it's not that easy to weld aluminum, to weld anything TIG. So I tried this out, this Luma weld from Harbor Freight, these rods, $15. and a bottle of MAP gas, and I welded. I welded this little MAP bung, you know, whatever. And that's the weld. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it could be cleaned up a little bit, but that's, I mean, that's just raw weld right there. It's not so bad. It's sealed, it's tight, it's strong, it's not gonna fall off, and it gets my map sensor where I want it. And immediately the car runs way better. You know, I had it just dangling, and obviously it's not doing any job. I mean, it's not doing what it's supposed to. So now it's in the airflow and it's happy. Still haven't decided what I'm gonna do with my intake. I've thought about putting the original box back in, the air box, and I might do that. I just would have to relocate this, you know, integrated engineering catch cam. So here is the box, as everyone knows it. You know, we have the inlet. I know I can't really demonstrate it too much right now. I'll try, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at. Alright, so this would come something like that. Yeah, so I mean, it almost bolts up. I kept these factory retainers, you know, and then of course this lid, you know, would go on. Have to go underneath all these lines and stuff. That's where that lies a problem. But having the stock box, you know, it would be a really a natural choice for it to just go into the stock air cleaner and be done with it. Other than that, I'd have to make something, and you know, a true cold air intake is going to have to relocate the filter, or at least the intake part of it, in the front of the car or in the fender well or one of those things. So anyways, just food for thought. Right now I haven't decided, but I know slapping a filter on just in the engine bay is not, it's not doing the car any good at all. I mean, it'll be doing it bad, if anything. Okay, so getting along with the update. Okay, so I did the welding and brazing, and yeah, Aluma weld things, 15 bucks. I mean, more than enough to do a bunch of jobs. No, it isn't TIG welding. No, it isn't structural. No, I wouldn't trust my life on anything structural on a brazing rod. But I tacked a couple of pieces together, or I welded or brazed a couple of pieces together, and I'll tell you what, I tried to rip it apart, and it bent the metal, so it's strong in that respect. Yeah, so there's the skirts. I'm working on the skirts, working on the interior, like I said. A lot of work. God, it's so much work. Let's see if I can get a shot of the skirts. Yeah, it'll be okay with the skirts. Okay, so then the front end, the front bumper, it's not how I would want it. I would love to have all the aluminum welded, you know, instead of having all these clamps and fittings and all this stuff. You know, I don't like it. I mean, I really don't. But what am I going to do? You know, I don't have a TIG welder. I mean, I don't have the skill to do it on my own, and I'll have to get somebody to do it for me. So for now, the clamps are going to stay. Let's see. I refit the bumper, the front bumper skin. Once I put those tubes in, it's so tight, you know, it really is. And I want you know, I want everything to fit perfect. I want this seam to be perfect. I want the reveal, everything to be the way it's supposed to be, tight, you know, and it wasn't. So once I started whittling away on this bumper, I ended up having to, you know, whittle away all this area where the light is, and then all this, you know, had to go, a lot of that. And then these factory or whatever, these little nut plates, or they're not even nut plates. The ones that came on this thing were just cheesy, total cheese. So I upgraded them with the ones I had for a motorcycle project of mine, and put some new hardware. You tighten them up. It's, you know, it's tight. It's good. But in doing all that whittling and grinding and shit, I blasted the light area paint. So I'll have to fix that up. But the bumpers, it could go on. I would love to do a, you know, a quick release and all that, but that's down the road. Right now I'm running out of time, and I just gotta get her done, get all the bugs worked out. I still haven't glued my intake scoop. I haven't done much with the hood. It's hitting right here. It's hitting right on this valve. You can see where it's hitting actually on this little thing. It doesn't even need this. I would love to just take it off and plug it, but then it's gonna hit here. So where it's hitting is right on this rail. So there's a couple of ways to do it. What's the best way? I don't know. I was just gonna take a hammer and tap it in. It's so close. I mean, it's really close. You can see where it is. I mean, it doesn't take much. I can close and lock it, but then it's sticking up on that area. So, yeah, let's see here. Yep, I did my clear lights, my mirrors, all the window rubber, and I'm waiting right now for a couple of things, but I'm gonna tint the glass before I put it in. I mean, it's out right now. I could tint the whole glass and, you know, it'll be perfect, and then slide it in there. All the window weather stripping and all that stuff is getting cleaned slowly. Let's see, nothing in the back really. Everything's just more or less. I got a lot to do back here. A lot. I mean, the thing's a disaster. So I got a crossbar, you know, to install. You know, I want to do something with the trunk. I won't be rolling with a spare tire. I wanted to maybe integrate the speakers in there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I got a lot to do. I've done a lot. Let's see. Finishing up the headliner is you know, still a main job. I got a couple of things more to screw on, and you know, I colored that seat. It was yellow, like this one. But I only did the one because I wasn't quite sure how it's gonna come out. But, oh yeah, I did the exhaust system. Yeah, I did the exhaust system. I left out a pretty major part of the exhaust system on purpose, of course. Of course. So here's how she runs. Yep. So yeah, she runs good. Yep, she's a runner. All right, it runs really good. So the exhaust system, oh yeah, I know what I did on that. I did the air fuel ratio sensor I installed. You can't really see back there. I don't really want to get on my back, but I will. For the sake of the video. Stand by. Okay, so my exhaust system, you can't really see the whole thing, but yep, comes down. I got all my sensors, one in there on the bend, one there, and then here's the third one, which is for the air fuel ratio. It's the furthest one down the line. All right, and then it comes down to the crossbar. It's suspended in the stock bracket, and then it has the resonator or cherry bomb, whatever you want to call it, and then it just dumps to to the driver's side, to the left. I'm going to extend that tip all the way out to the side resonator. It'll just come straight out. I'm going to wrap this brake cable in a heat shield and tie it up some, and then it'll just come straight out, you know, right before the tire. Let me see if I can't get a visual. And by the way, everyone, I am terribly sorry for the horrible sound quality. My finger was right on the microphone and I had no idea the whole time. Something like that. Yeah. Kinda. All right. So it's it, and that's that. Hope you guys enjoy everything that I'm doing. You know. I have my I just got my stereo, some of my stereo stuff, but I got a super badass Kenwood deck, and then of course, you know, some nice JL and all that good stuff. So take it easy, keep the dirty side down. If you like what I'm doing, you know, consider subscribing and give me some motivation to keep making these videos.